He reignited the engine, adjusted the rotors, and within moments, lifted the helicopter off the edge of destruction, smooth, perfect, controlled. Everyone below stared in disbelief as the man they mocked became their savior. When he landed safely, medics rushed in. Charlotte stood frozen, rain pouring down her face. She approached him slowly, her eyes soft for the first time. "You were serious?" she whispered. He looked up, his uniform jacket half burned, face smeared with smoke. "I never joke about life, ma'am." She smiled faintly, tears mixing with rain. Who are you?" "Elijah Carter. Former U.S. Air Force captain. Lost my squad, my home, and my family. But I never lost my will to serve." That night changed everything. The news headline read, "Homeless hero saves CEO and investors in helicopter tragedy." Within days, the story went viral. Charlotte found him again, this time not as a charity case, but as a man she couldn't forget. She offered him a position in her company's new aviation division. But Elijah refused. "I don't need a job," he said. "I need purpose." So she funded a foundation in his name, the Carter Wings Project, helping veterans rebuild their lives. Months later, as they stood together at the launch event, a reporter asked jokingly, "Miss Hale, is it true you once said you'd marry him if he flew a helicopter for you?" Charlotte laughed, glancing at Elijah. "Yes, I said that." "And?" She looked at him, her smile soft but knowing. "He didn't just fly it, he flew straight into my heart." The crowd erupted in applause. As the evening sun dipped low, Elijah turned toward the horizon, his reflection glowing in the golden light, his uniform clean once again. Charlotte slipped her hand into his, no words needed. He had saved her, not just from danger, but from her own blindness. And she had given him back his dignity, his place in a world that had forgotten him. The last frame fades with Elijah flying a helicopter over the city again, not as a homeless man, but as a hero reborn. Sometimes, the people we overlook carry the deepest stories. True strength isn't in power or money, it's in character. And love? It often lands where we least expect it. She laughed when he said he once flew helicopters for the army. To her, he was just a homeless man, broken, dirty, forgotten. But when the storm hit, and the chopper's controls failed, she discovered who he truly was. Rain poured over the city like the sky itself was weeping. On the edge of the downtown plaza, a man sat beside a flickering fire barrel, his clothes torn, his face weary, his eyes deep with stories untold. His name was Elijah Carter, once a U.S. Air Force pilot, now homeless after life betrayed him. People passed him every day, pretending not to see. Among them was Charlotte Hale, the young CEO of Hale Industries, confident, beautiful, and proud. Charlotte stepped out of her luxury car, her high heels splashing puddles as she hurried into her building. But that night, fate had a plan. Her company was hosting a charity gala for homeless awareness, and Elijah, ironically, stood outside unnoticed. When Charlotte's assistant dropped a folder near the fire barrel, Elijah bent down and picked it up gently. "Ma'am, you dropped this," he said, his voice calm, polite. She turned, her sharp eyes scanning him. "Thanks," she muttered, avoiding contact. But then she noticed something, the way he stood, his posture, the tone in his voice. Something disciplined, something not ordinary. Later that night, as Charlotte gave her speech inside the gala, lightning cracked above the city. Guests murmured in admiration as she spoke about helping the poor while Elijah stood outside under the storm, soaking wet, staring at the glass walls. Suddenly, a power failure struck the building. The lights went out. Panic spread. The news broke moments later. A nearby helicopter had lost control, crash-landed on the company's rooftop helipad, carrying a foreign investor she was supposed to meet. "Someone needs to stabilize that chopper before it ignites," shouted a security guard. Charlotte froze. She looked at the rooftop camera feed, sparks flying, rotors spinning uncontrollably. That's when Elijah appeared behind her. "I can fly that thing," he said quietly. Charlotte turned, shocked. You're a homeless man. Stay out of this." But his eyes didn't flinch. "Ma'am, with respect, I've flown Black Hawks in Afghanistan. I can save them if you let me." The words hit her differently, calm, precise, filled with authority. The room fell silent. "Fly this chopper?" she mocked, smirking. "Fine. If you can do that, I'll marry you myself." Everyone laughed. But Elijah didn't. He simply said, "Then I'll hold you to your word," and walked toward the emergency stairs. On the rooftop, flames lit the sky. The helicopter trembled on its skids. Charlotte followed, watching as Elijah climbed inside like muscle memory had guided him home. His hands moved over the controls, each motion steady and sure. "Clear the area!" he commanded. His voice, once ignored, now carried power.